I like that smell. What is that? Is that your perfume or what is it?
It's been the vitamin
No,
water.
you had it in the car. Like, I could smell it in the car.
Probably could be my perfume still.
Oh.
Put it on at like 8 this morning. I'm surprised
I don't wear perfume.
I do occasionally. Like I'll wear but I'll just put it like on my wrists, kinda. Because like if you put it on like pressure points, it's where like most heat radiates off your body. So like your wrists and like your neck, where your pulse is, I guess. But like then it just kind of stays with you. But yeah, if it's like a weird marshmallow smell, then that's probably the perfume.
It could be, yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say marshmallow. It's hard to describe. But yeah.
Do you have synesthesia too?
She does.
I do.
Color synesthesia, you said.
Yep.
Well, there goes the tonalita.
Well, actually,
Remember? Italian for both note and color.
yeah.
That must be why, that must,
Michael.
yeah.
So, if you want me to demonstrate, play individual notes on the piano, and I'll tell you the color. Pink, white, yellow, orange, salmon. Salmon is like a kind of pinkish, orangish in between. So F is like neon purple, green, like grassy green with F sharp. Aqua, gray, red. I was about to say the name of it now.
Yeah.
A, no, duh. Like a blood red, that was A. Navy blue, robin's egg blue, back to pink.
Okay, so it's just note based.
Yeah,
It's funny because for me, it's a combination of note and octave that reminded me of particular words.
Ooh.
Like, okay, I don't have words for every note, but let's see. This fourth octave C sharp reminds me of diva. D, I don't know what it reminds me of.
Is that because it's Deborah's favorite key?
I don't know. No, it has reminded me of that since I was little. It reminds me of the word needle.
You didn't like that I said.
Um,
Did you not
this
like that I said that about Deborah? I'm sorry.
I don't know who Deborah is.
Deborah
Deborah
Adeniji
Adeniji?
from Nigeria originally.
Training center?
Don't know her.
Can I sit with you? Like, she's like that voice.
She always wanted to sit with Christian and me.
Oh. No, I don't mind what you said. I think I just didn't know who you meant.
Anyway, and then this note
Yeah.
reminds me of either raccoon or just coon.
Oh, cool.
What's this word? I can't remember. I think
Purple.
can't remember. No. Okay, let me tell you this. If your vibrato if you're laughing or a vibrato, that would have been a good speed.
That's cool.
That would have been a 7 vibrato.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
This reminds me of the word.
I have synesthesia with vibratos too.
Oh.
This reminds me of the. Okay, Lizzie.
Oh, yeah.
This reminds me of the word. Was it? What word was it? I can't remember. I think. Okay, this word reminds me of mass for some reason, or church.
Okay. Well, to be fair, most pieces in church are an F.
Yeah,
So
that
it
could.
makes sense
I don't know. No, this is.
Yeah.
I've got that since I was little, and I didn't hear of church being called mass until I was.
Well, that's mainly a Catholic thing.
Yeah. This note for some reason. Okay, these words I've associated ever since I was little, so it hasn't changed much.
Right.
This word reminds me of fishy, not fish, but fishy.
That's cool.
This word, what word was it? Name, like the word name.
Oh, cool.
This word I don't know. Like this A, I don't know.
Yeah.
This reminds me of belly. However, this A reminds me of slice or spice.
Dude, my favorite A is like A2. No. A1. Yeah. That's my favorite A. I don't know why, but like one of the composers I like,
Yeah.
named Maurice Ravel.
Of course.
I told you about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lizzie, to give you some backstory, Maurice Ravel.
He's French.
Yeah. Okay, you know him.
Yeah.
Okay, he's my absolute favorite composer. Well, one of them, but he uses that A like a lot in his compositions, and I get really excited whenever that happens.
One of my favorite composers, you probably haven't heard of him. He's one of those Seshi composers, Richard Harvey.
Heard of him, but I don't know his stuff.
You've heard of... Okay.
Has Tyler told you
Tyler.
Oh. I was going to say, Lizzie was probably thinking the same thing. How do you know about Denise Leigh?
Tyler.
How do you know about Denise...
everyone.
Probably.
Denise
I
Leigh.
don't know.
And then the
I like
B flat above that, so 470, reminds me of the word body. Not body, but body. And this word reminds me of neat.
Cool.
And then, okay, what's this word? I can't remember. This word reminds me of tar, as in like the kind of thing that the sticky stuff.
I know what that is. That's cool.
This one I can't remember. This one reminds me of talk. Talk.
Yeah.
This one, okay. Sports.
That's cool.
This word, any French word ending in the wa syllable.
Nice. Wow.
Does. This one's does.
Nice.
What is this one? Twinkle, because, you know,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
because we first learned that in that key at
Yeah.
piano when we were 3.
Cool.
This one reminds me of style.
Yeah.
This, the name Howard.
Oh, that's awesome.
This one, the word pop, like
Yeah.
like a drink or whatever. This one is the word pie.
Yum.
This one, somebody saying shh.
Oh, that's cute. Well, it makes sense. It's a quiet little tea.
Yeah. This one, few, F-E-W.
Yeah.
This one, sweep, sweet, like whatever.
Like S words.
No, just sweep or sweet,
Oh.
either of those two.
Okay.
What's this one? What is this one? I can't remember. I don't think I have a word for that. This one's well, like, hope you're doing well. This one, oh, what was it? I don't think I have a word for that. This one reminds me of mouth. Mouth.
Okay.
This one reminds me of horse, because I've heard a lot of horse neighs start at that pitch when I was little.
Oh wow.
This one, what word? What word is that? The Spanish word arriba, so up.
Yeah.
What's this? I can't remember what this one was. And then from this note onward, I don't have a association with it. But I do remember when I was little, I used to be able to scream halfway between, and so, like, my scream was that high pitched.
That's nuts. I will say though that with my color things, even though they're the same colors per note, it
Is it kind of the same thing with me? Like,
what?
with the words reminding me of... You're gonna say like with the color thing, with the note?
The strength of the color depends on the octave. So like
A higher octave would be...
the higher up, the weaker the color kind of gets,
Mm-hmm.
and like the lower you go.
Probably because there are more
color gets
harmonics.
stronger.
There are more harmonics that you can hear.
Yeah.
For me, it's less about specific words as it is about rhyming. So like certain words that rhyme with each other all remind me of a certain pitch.
And like with chords, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like chords and shapes.
Well, no, my chords, like all my colors are just kind of splatters in my head. Like there's nothing, it's abstract.
Like
There's
anything.
nothing specific about it other than the colors. It just kind of like
Yeah.
splats in my head like a paintbrush.
Well, to me, color or
So,
shapes and chords. So anything circular, a sphere, a disc, a cylinder, is all C minor.
oh,
But like, if you like, the outside of your vitamin water or like a cup or something would be C minor. But if you put your hand like inside,
yeah.
it'd be a B flat major.
What?
To me.
That's so cool.
Don't put your hand inside.
No,
your vitamin.
no.
You don't want to spill it. You don't want to make a mess.
Major and minor are different though. So like if something's in like D major, for example, it'll be like a bright sunshiny yellow, like a dandelion
Yeah, like
kind of
like
yellow.
it reminds me of
But-
like F sharp, B, E, A, and D all remind me of like being out in the sun.
But like
and like C sharp as well. So like if I hear a song of a particular in a particular key, and like it's the summertime, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's something
Like,
cool.
D minor is like a mustard yellow or like darker. So like the shade can change whether it's major or minor. But the thing I find the most fascinating to me is that C sharp major is like a stark white, like the whitest white, like snow. And then like C sharp minor is just black. So it's complete polar opposite colors.
Well, you know what's so funny? Certain body positions remind me of certain keys.
Oh, cool.
But just keys, though. So, like, if it's a song in that key or whatever. Okay, so sitting down reminds me of G major. Standing up reminds me of F major. Laying on my tummy,
Yeah.
to the
I know
ground
what you mean.
reminds me of E major. Laying on my back reminds me of A, which is why I had this nightmare about hearing the note A when I'm underwater, because, like,
Oh.
I've always had those nightmares about that. It's like, oh no, I'm gonna, laying on my back, I'm gonna fall underwater. And then, okay, what's kneeling down? I think kneeling down is, like in church, I think that would be like E flat.
Makes
So,
sense. Makes sense, because a bunch of hymns are also E flat. Correlation.
could be. I think Loriana would be excited to hear those things.
And then Michael and I also like take into consideration like the pitch and like the qualities of different voices, and we think of them as like textures combined with like smells or tastes.
Okay, so
I know what you are.
yeah, I was gonna say, what's my voice then?
It's either barbecue.
Okay.
Barbecue
Yum.
or like caramel.
Ooh. Those are both really good flavors. I must have a good voice then.
Balls.
Who is?
You.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think your voice would be.
Mine.
Okay, I've had caramel before. I think it would also be caramel.
Mine?
Or like liquid
Yours,
caramel.
Hailey.
Not chewy caramel, but liquid caramel.
Yeah. Denise Leigh in her early years.
Big Hailey would be chewy caramel or raisins.
Ooh.
You've heard
Oh, okay.
You've heard Big Haley's voice, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe.
Her vibrato will make you faint.
For sure.
Denise.
You guys have heard my speaking voice, but you haven't heard me sing that well yet.
Well, like Denise Leigh in 2003, ancient history, is chocolate ice cream to me.
Ooh. Well, and then you said tone quality wise, and I'm like,
You're like
early
you're like 2009 Denise Leigh.
nice.
2003 Denise Leigh sounded totally different than
Okay.
2009. I'll have to show it to you, but vibrato wise it was pretty much the same, but tonally it was totally different. When you were singing back then, I think you were more like 2000 tonally, like tonal quality 2009 Denise Leigh.
Yeah, and at that point I wasn't fully trying.
Yeah.
I
Maybe-
was kind of like rushing it because like there was a bunch of kids there, and
Yeah.
I didn't warm up at all. And
Yeah.
it's-
I remember Deborah explaining what kind of warm up she did just so I could hear her vibrato.
The song that you did at Sports Day this year
Has a lot of
it has a lot of 20s and they have a really big vibrato.
Ah,
And I like that. I like 20s, but Michael
Yeah.
doesn't like 20s.
Yeah, 'cause they
Except for you and
the typical
me and, like,
the typical when she talks about have like super slow and deep vibratos. It's just like Domro.
yeah.
Because Domro is one of the most famous people who does the Queen of the Night one.
Yeah.
Oh, you've heard of Domro?
I haven't heard of her, but I know the piece you're talking about.
That was probably Domro that you've heard.
Okay.
And you know what Domro's vibrato is, right?
No.
The worst end of the spectrum.
Oh, sad day.
Super slow, super deep.
Man.
It's like Brianna, just because her name is Brianna
Yeah.
Domro.
Yeah.
Play the doodle sack. German bagpipes.
Yeah.
That just sounds like a totally derogatory
or
word.
get it dagger.
Yeah, get it? Yeah, because dagger pipes, which I don't have any, they stopped working the exact day Denise Leigh sent us the funny Valentine recording. It's like, oh my gosh, when am I ever going to get these working? It's like,
And then you said like, okay, if like Denise doesn't have a good voice anymore and your Deggers died. Like, you thought that was somehow...
I thought Denise went into the pipes and was like, okay, if I don't have a good voice anymore, let me destroy your dagger pipes. Like, Lizzie, I think the reason why I don't like your British accent is because you sound billions of times older.
Oh, that's funny.
If you were to do your British chipmunk voice, I would be able to tolerate that. Have you heard her chipmunk voice?
I don't, maybe.
You may have heard it before.
Oh yeah, I have. Yep.
What about my Obi-Wan-Kenobi? Have you ever seen, you've seen Star Wars?
I've definitely seen, yes.
Hello there. Come here, my little friend. Don't be afraid. Oh, don't worry, you'll be all right. I should upload it to YouTube. I demonstrated it to a lot of people. It's like, you would be the best Obi-Wan Kenobi ever.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's fun.
The only thing that gets me now is like all my family. Lizzie, remember I was telling Aunt Janet and Uncle Greg and Aunt Mary and Maria and Sarah about Hailey, and they're like, when are you gonna date her? When are you gonna date her? Like, she has perfect pitch. She sounds like your dream girl. I'm like, well, she doesn't have a Denise Leigh voice yet, and they're like, once she get a Denise Leigh voice,
I don't even have anyone that I think of as a boyfriend yet.
Right.
I do have some close blind friends like Tyler and Christian.
Right.
But they're more like brothers and sisters to me.
Right.
But Lizzie, I didn't say that.
A lot of stuff in common.
But Lizzie, I didn't even say that we're dating. They just said, like, when are you gonna?
I know, but I wouldn't rush it for myself. So I'm trying to make you learn not to rush it for yourself.
Yeah, but I just feel jealous of all my other friends in high school or college because they already, I always hear them talk about Ben Belliot. His nickname is Belliot.
Yeah.
He has a boyfriend. Loriano has a girlfriend. Or he has a girlfriend. Sorry, Ben has a girlfriend. Loriano has a...
I get the... Yes.
So it's just like... And it was so funny because before one Highland Festival, we were eating in the... right near the Joe's, which is like a little kind of cafe, kind of restaurant-ish kind of thing. At Alma. And they didn't have the food available, so they had someone from there come in and cater. Mm-hmm. And we ate there, and Belliot goes like, hey, Michael, you should meet Loriano's girlfriend, Daniela. And I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. And every girl they introduced me to, they always said, she has a sexy vibrato. You're going to love it. Or like, her vibrato's good. You're going to love it. Or like, then next thing I hear, this was like literally like this past Highland Festival, like before this Highland Festival. Next thing I hear, hey, Loriano's like, hey, Daniela, can you sing O mio bambino caro for Michael? And then I get a smile on my face. I hear this, ooh, like, you're gonna love her, and like, it's just a recording of Denise Leigh. I'm like, hey, that's Denise Leigh, that's not Daniela, and they all started laughing really hard.
Oh.
And they're like, we're just kidding, Michael, we're just kidding.
Oh. That's...
But it's just so funny how they do that, though.
Yeah.
Like, they know that I like girls because of their vibrato, and their personality and stuff like that. So, like, and one time they're like, she was taught by Cecilia Bartoli, or like, she was taught by Denise Leigh, or like another girl that they talk about, like other girls that they introduced me to. Like, one girl, they said, she was taught by Cecilia Bartoli, or another girl, like, she was taught by Denise Leigh, or, what one guy said? One of the pipers told me. I can't remember what girl it was, just like, hey, she's got a 12 vibrato.
Oh my goodness.
Mind you, Snow White is 10.
Yes.
She's like, she's got a 12 vibrato. And I told them why I hate slow vibratos. And, what was it? Loriano goes like, what if somebody has a 0.1 vibrato?
Like me? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, if you don't have vibrato, that would be a 0.0 vibrato.
Yes.
I guess there is a fine line between what people consider fast as... Like, it's just the fact that way too many people consider what is scientifically a proper vibrato. Too many people think that's too fast.
Right.
But at the same time, there are a lot of people who, with good vibrato, that still, even Denise Leigh, for example, still thinks that Snow White vibrato is too fast.
Right.
And and the people in Amadeus, the singers in Amadeus.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen that yet, but I really want
Okay,
to.
I have a copy, or I have an audio version of it.
Well, my mom and I are gonna watch it next week.
Okay.
Because she has it at her apartment.
Okay. Let me tell you this though, the Cavalieri.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that name, but the person who plays Cavalieri, her vibrato is very unhealthy.
Oh.
But this, which version are you gonna watch the director cut or the shorter version?
I don't know.
Okay, because in the director's cut they have a really good vibrato.
Oh, cool.
Her name is Michelle Esposito. She sings Caro Mio Ben.
Ooh.
I love that one too. And she's got a good vibrato too.
Okay.
And somebody sings Queen of the Night. That is actually Domro.
Then what? Oh, okay. Wow.
So, just so you are aware of that, you'll hear solo sopranos, but be aware that most of them do not have good vibratos.
Okay. I'm in it for the movie, though.
Yeah.
I want to see the movie.
I've listened to it a lot, but I know almost every line.
Nice.
There are actually German bagpipes in there too.
Oh, cool.
Oh no, Bohemian bagpipes in there.
Ah,
See that must be why I love it.
for sure.
No zampoñas, no chirimellas, but like I said, most chirimella players are mostly female.
Right.
And then most zampoña players are mostly male. But there are a couple exceptions. Maria Virali. She plays chirimella, yes, but she also plays the zampoña. She's not that good when it comes to zampoña playing.
Ah.
She was the one that could hit that G6 on the chirimella.